It's our favorite beauty friend with benefits. Let's unlock some core memories together. We'll come back to Kitten and the history, but first I'm going to start by telling you my most embarrassing professional moment. And yes, it involves benefits first and number one selling product, Benetton. Picture this, it's 2001. At my desk, and I'm working at Sephora.com in the corporate office. This is when we were at 1 Front Street, so I'm up on like the 20-something floor, and the San Francisco Bay is shimmering and it's blue in the background. And I was just hanging up from leaving a message for Carol Shaw of Lorac Cosmetics. At that point, I was in a dual role, so I was the West Coast beauty editor and makeup artist. Yes, Sephora had an actual magazine back then. And I also had founded and was managing and leading the beauty advisors. We had real life estheticians and makeup artists at Sephora.com that were answering your emails and your phone calls personally in the beginning. It was amazing. So anyway, I leave this message. Hey, Danielle, just calling to set something up with Carol. Looking forward to chatting with her. They had a new collection out or something. I was going to interview her for the magazine. So I hang up, right? I think. And I just pushed the button and put the phone down. And one of the beauty advisors walked in and she was like, hey, Hillary, I have a question for you about Benetton. Okay, well, you know me. I'm an educator at heart. I can't help it. If you have a question and I have a story, you're going to hear it. Hello, TikTok. She asked me something about Benetton. Now, apparently the whole world knows the true origin story of Benetton now, but back then in like 2000, 2001, it was not a topic that was suitable for polite society. Benetton was sold as a cheek and lip tint. That's it. No one talked about its origin stories with special dancers and used to make their a little pinker. So we're talking about this, and I said, oh, well, yes, it really wears. It's beautiful. It's great because it's transfer proof. And we go into this whole conversation about how I told her, oh, it was founded by the twins, Gene and Jane Ford, in 1976. They were working with a dancer, and she needed a little more visibility, if you know what I mean. I said, in fact, I still use it all the time on the runway for New York Fashion Week, for things that are on the West Coast, and with certain designers that want to have sheer tops. And, they weren't like such a big deal back then. And I said, it's great, you can use them on men because you can just brush it on, you don't have to touch them. I said, but with women, it's always best to ask them if they want to do it themselves, hand it to them, or I like to even put it on a little cotton swab because then you can press in and you don't get action, you know what I mean? Because sometimes they don't want that silhouette. So anyway, I'm doing this whole thing about the origins of Benetton, what it was made for, how to apply it in real life for the runway for a photo shoot. She says, great, we're talking about it, laughing about it, talking about painting and what you have to do to be professional in this environment. She walks out, I pick up my phone, I'm like, weird, I don't have a dial tone. So I hang up, finish, go on with my day. Hours later, I get a phone call and it's Danielle laughing hysterically. So yes, I had left her a message on her phone, and then when I hung up and thought I hung up, what I actually somehow did had pushed 0 and was transferred to their receptionist. This whole conversation about the origins of Benetton and how to apply it went on to Lorac Cosmetics company voicemail. She said the whole office was gathered around listening to their message. And she said, Hillary, the story was amazing. We were all standing around. We had no idea. Do you want to come and work with us as an educator? Job I should have taken, by the way. And anyway, such great stories about Lorac. They're incredible people. We'll get back to that. Let's go back to BeneFit. It's 1976. Gene and Jane Ford, former Calgon models, twins, have moved out west to San Francisco to make their mark on the world. And they started a little boutique called The Face Place in the Mission District in San Francisco. Not only were they able to see clients in the store, but here's what was special. They had a mail-in catalog business. Yes, before the internet, before anything else, they were doing a catalog business, collecting a mailing list, and their products were incredible. They had things like Touch Me and Try to Leave cream. The names were kitschy. The tagline was, Grin and Wear It. I mean, they were fantastic. There was a love for old Hollywood, but you didn't really see that until they renamed the company in 1989, 90, depends on who you talk to BeneFit, and totally revamped and changed the stores to what you see today. Take a look. I still remember this actual catalog. They were always like a mixture of black and white photos. You could tell they were homemade, you could tell they were homegrown, but they loved the products, and they had so many problem solver products. In fact, I'm gonna need some of you guys to help me, because in my timeline, the It stick was called the Fix It stick. Does anybody else remember it being called like the Fix It stick, as in you have a problem, we have a solution? But even to this day, when I think of BeneFit, I think of the problem-solving brand. They came out with a Professional much later. We're gonna dive into some of the others, but it all started with Benetint, the It stick, and problem-solving products. Which ones do you guys remember? By 1995, they were a global sensation. Who remembers lemonade? I don't know if I even dare try this, but this was a brightening yellow cream. Oh, to hell with it, I'll just do it. Let's see how bad can it be, right? They also were some of the first that had a pink brightening under eye powder, something we're all seeing again. So BeneFit really, truly, they were ahead of their time in a lot of ways, and they had so many of the problem-solving products. But guess what? In 1999, they were acquired by LVMH, and that's when we started getting some of the treasures that we know and love even today. They're known for their old Hollywood glamour, for their iconic things. Like, I still see Hoola in almost every pro makeup artist kit. It's one of the only and first matte bronzers, and it's still in circulation. And the thing, I love this brush because it would help you so easily do like a bronzer and a contour. I don't know that they designed it for this, but this is how I've used it for years. And of course, they built out the franchise with Dallas, Cora, Lista, all the favorites. You can even get the palettes. Definitely worth checking out. Still to this day, can't live without Hoola. They're real Bad Gal Lash. I mean, iconic, iconic products. You know, as a pro makeup artist, I always had things like Shuamura, Makeup Forever, Kryolan, all the pro brands in my kit. But I have to tell you, there was always a place for some of the core BeneFit products too. And to this day, I still have a lot of them. In fact, I feel like I can track a lot of my relationships from the late 90s and early aughts by which little BeneFit products I would find in there. Any of you guys? Now, everybody's got to remember when BeneFit took over brows. Before Anastasia was even really thinking about doing her own company, BeneFit was doing brows. I'm holding this up because they've always done the best press kits. By the way, BeneFit, call me, I've moved. But these came with one of their brow launches. I'll tag it here. And to this day, the best colors, the best precision, I still go to BeneFit for some of the best brows. So share with me, they are still booming, still here, and I still get delighted every time I go in to see the BeneFit counter. I feel like we need a part 2. I got distracted with my Lorac story, and I forgot some of my OG favorites. Tell me in comments if you want to hear more.